Hello, I'm Dango Rose. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you the latest news of the Peak to Peak region, in print, online, through our podcast, social media, and special publications. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area with our local journalists.
Hello there, everybody. My name is Jamie Lammers, and welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where today I'll be reading some words for the week, the poem written by Alexander Shalom Joseph for the June 19th, 2025 edition of the Mountaineer newspaper. Before we get into the poem, a quick top story brought to you by Brittany Wagner.
Our top story today comes from Mindy Leary, Madame Lubunch Day, Bed Racing Bonanza. Central City celebrated its most infamous local figure Saturday with the 51st annual Madame Lubunch Day, a lively tribute that took over Main Street from noon to 10 p.m. and drew hundreds to the historic mountain town. The free event honored Louisa Lubunch, a Gold Rush-era madame known as much for her success in business as for her compassion during a tuberculosis outbreak in the late 1800s. The day's main attraction was the famous bed races, held at 3 p.m. Sponsored by local businesses, participants often wearing corsets, bonnets, boots, and suspenders barreled down Main Street in a wheeled bed with two riders on board and a third team member pushing toward the finish line. You can read the full story in this week's Mountaineer or at themountaineer.com.
Thank you, Brittany, for bringing us that top story. If you're interested in subscribing to news from Peak to Peak, then be sure to head to the mtnear.com and click on the subscribe button in the top right corner of our home page, where you can then access our digital archive and scan copies of our physical newspaper. You can even choose to send a physical subscription to your mailbox or to the mailbox of someone that you love. And now, some words for the week, written by Alexander Shalom Joseph for the June 19th, 2025 edition of the Mountaineer. It's so strange to be somewhere without you, because so much of me now is defined by us, is defined by what we do, by what you've taught me, by how we've grown together, what I want to eat, how I sleep, what I do when I wake, how I walk. It's all been made different, made better by being with you. This morning I see a photo of two separate trees that started to grow together, retaining their own boundaries but choosing to live in harmony. And I think of you, as I always do, because that is what I hope we can be, and what I think we already are. All grown together, individual, but shaped by one another, held up by one another, held by one another. And even when we are apart, there is the shape of us here, too. Thank you so much for tuning in to Some Words of the Week, brought to you by the Mountaineer Podcast. I'll be back in a couple of days with another segment. In the meantime, if you want to share this episode or others around with whoever you see fit, then be sure to head to the mtnear.com and scroll near to the bottom of our homepage, or head to our podcast's main hub at the mtnearpodcast.buzzsprout.com to see a full archive of all of our episodes. If you're interested in being involved in the paper and or podcast in any capacity, or if you're interested in getting advertising into the paper and or podcast, be sure to email Barbara Hardt, our editor-in-chief, at info@themountaineer.com, or email myself at media@themountaineer.com, and we'll get something sorted for you. I'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.
And that's it for our show. Subscribe online to get more access to more news, weekly updates to our community calendar, and a link to our YouTube channel by visiting themountaineer.com. Be sure to use the coupon code PODCAST when subscribing for a 10% discount, only available to our listeners. If you are in the local Peak to Peak area, be sure to pick up a print edition of The Mountaineer at a local business. I'm Dango Rose. Thank you for listening.